fam, it's me, Keisha, and I'm here with this week's All Tea, All Shade, the Braxton Season 1, Episode 2 review. This is another hard episode for me. It seems like things are going to lighten up next week because, baby, I can't spend every week crying the way that I do. And like I said, it's kind of messing with my mental health a little bit. But I was able to push through after crying a bucket of tears. This week's episode, we picked up where we left off last week with the family in grief counseling. Miss E actually lets us know that she almost lost Tracy 3 times. I guess once when she was pregnant with her, another time she was really sick with a really bad, I believe, fever, and another time. So this is by far unmistakably hard for this woman to deal with a child of hers going before her, because you're not supposed to go before your kids, you know what I'm saying? And so to have lost her daughter and to have had these near-death experiences before this, I know it's just unbelievable and hard to grasp and stomach. And I just pray for Miss E. I really do, because I don't know how this lady's still standing. But she says that she finds comfort in the fact that Tracy visits her all the time and that she is going to see her again when it's her time to leave Earth and go on to the next realm, heaven, whatever you think of or whatever you believe in. Tracy's last days are shown, and we see the girls rallying around her, laughing, dancing, playing cards with her, laying in the bed with her, and just surrounding her with so much love. And it just warmed my heart to see them all coming together to be with her, and the sisterly love that is there between these women. It was also very hard to see Tracy, deteriorating, becoming skinnier and more non-mobile. It was hard to watch, but then again, it was lovely to see the love between these women. We find out that Trina thought that she was strong enough to be there when Tracy took her last breath, but Tawanda told her she wasn't. And she fought back and was like, yes, I am. You don't know this, that, and the third. And when the time came, it was Trina and Miss E that was there. And she says that Tawanda was correct. She wasn't strong enough. It has really affected her because she thinks about it all the time. It's causing her to eat a lot because eating gives her some form of, I think, satisfaction. And she's drinking more to quiet the thoughts and the memories. And she's not sleeping because she says when she closes her eyes, she just sees it over and over again. And she just breaks down. And I felt so bad for Trina. I really honestly did, because a lot of people can't, live with seeing somebody go before them. Her describing Tracy's last breaths just like knocked me out, with her saying like she just saw her taking one breath after another until it was no more air in her. It was just so hard. And she says that, every time she closes her eyes, she sees Tracy in that green kimono. I guess that was what she passed away in. And the therapist tells her that, you have PTSD and you need to seek help for that. Like, this is not okay. And that food and drinking is her form of self-medication. And that's also not the right way to go about things. Trina says that after Tracy passed, everybody kind of went their own way. And she hates that. She thought that this would have made them closer, and it did not. And it's unfortunate that everybody kind of, went on and lived separate lives instead of grieving together and comforting each other. Tony says that she feels guilt because she thought that she was going to be the one to pass first. She's the oldest. She's the one that has lupus. And, you could tell that it's like she's remorseful that it wasn't her, And it's so sad because we don't know when our time is up and how we're all going to go or when we're going to go. And I hate that she's carrying that burden. They asked little Kevin how he's feeling, and he reveals that, he not only lost his mother, but he lost his wife, the same wife that told his mama on, her deathbed that she was going to be there for him no matter what and take care of him, and then ended up serving him with divorce papers while his mother was sick. So I just feel so bad for him. He's the only child. He has no siblings. His mama, who is his world, is gone. His wife is leaving him. His relationship with his father isn't what it should be. And I pray for that boy's mental health, his sanity, and that God just covers him with the blood of Jesus, because that's a lot for anybody to deal with. And especially for someone so young, so vulnerable, it's just got to be so hard. And then all of a sudden he excuses himself from the video call, and we hear like this authoritative voice in the background. And Tamar is like, what is going on? Is that the police? And Tawanda was like, shh, hold up, let me listen or whatever. And so Tony like, what is going on? And Tamar was like, that's the police. So Lil Kevin says he has to call them back. He gets off the voice call. Their father hangs up as well. Tawanda goes and calls Lil Kevin on the phone and is asking him what's going on. What is happening? What does he need from her? And before she got up off the couch though and went to make that phone call, she said to Tony and Tamar that he'll let them know what he wants to know. Like, he'll tell them when he's ready. She already knows, and Trina already knows whatever it is, this issue that Lil Kevin is going through. So Tamar is like, y'all got so many secrets and don't nobody call and tell me nothing. And Trina says, this is not the forum. It's not my place to tell you. It's his place if he wants to tell you. Tawanda comes back and she says that someone anonymously called and said that Lil Kevin has a warrant. And she thinks that it was a setup because who would have known where he was at, what time, while they're doing this grief counseling. So it had to have been somebody in his family or a friend. I don't know. Tamar feeling some type of way because, everybody keeps secrets from each other. All of them do. Starting with last week's episode with Tony not telling them about her health. And then, Tamar finding out via her sisters that her nephew is even going through a divorce. She didn't know that. And then now finding out that he got a warrant out for his arrest. Like, what is going on? So I get why Tamar feels excluded and left out of things. It's like, what is going on? But at the same time, I respect Tawanda and Trina for not telling his business, because he is a grown man. And if he want certain people to know things that others he don't feel comfortable telling them yet, then you can't really be mad at them either, So at this point, Tony thinks that, it's best that they reschedule the grief counseling since they need to deal with whatever situation is going on with Lil Kevin. And Tamar was like, why? Because everybody's not being 100% transparent. I think that's where she was coming from. And Tamar says, it no longer serves me to beg for anything. And Tony was like, beg for what? She was like, sisterhood, time, whatever. And Tony apologizes to her. And in her confessional, she says that she notices that Tamar has felt this way before, and she has. They even do flashbacks from Braxton Family Values where she says, I will reach out to y'all, call y'all, ask to spend time with y'all, and there's no answer, or y'all say no. And Trina was like, when you call me, I come. And Tamar was like, yeah, you do. And so in her confessional, Trina was like, exactly. So she needs to address who doesn't show up when she reaches out, aka Tawanda, pretty much. That's who she was talking about. Tawanda was like, I don't pour into certain kind of energy. She says she's focusing on her family and, you know, what matters to her most. And Tamar says that she don't answer. Tawanda says she does answer her calls when she reaches out. And Tamar was like, when was the last time you reached out to me? And she's like, I just reached out to you the other day. And she was like, right, when filming began. That's when you reached out. And Tawanda was like, no, that ain't true. That ain't true. Mama E starts going off on them because she's tired of the arguing, the bickering. She's been dealing with this their whole lives. And she was like, you know, I just lost a child and here y'all are still arguing. And she's tired of it. And I don't blame her. I really honestly don't, because I don't know what is the bigger issue here with these girls. It's always pretty much been Tamar really didn't have a solid relationship with Tracy nor Tawanda. She's never really had any issues with Tony or Trina, but those other relationships with her other siblings that she really didn't have strong bonds or connections with. I think that when it comes to Tawanda and Tamar, I just flat out feel like Tawanda does not like Tamar. And to be honest with you, you don't have to like your siblings just because they're your siblings. Some people you just don't mesh with well with. And when she said verbatimly that I don't pour into certain kind of energy, she basically was saying that Tamar's energy isn't positive. She probably thinks that Tamar is very dramatic, that Tamar is very toxic. I think that she feels that way towards Tamar. I think that there's animosity there towards Tamar from things that happened years ago on Braxton Family Values. And so I think when Tamar even said that she doesn't have time to beg for sisterhoods or friendship or time, she was talking about Tawanda. And you don't have to beg for those things. And just because we're sisters don't mean that we necessarily have to be BFFs and have to be close. You know what I'm saying? It's unfortunate that they can't figure it out, but sometimes it's just not meant to force it. You know what I'm saying? I have a whole half sister, and I don't even look at her like a half sister. That's my sister at the end of the day. That's because we have different mothers don't mean anything. But we don't have a relationship with each other. We have not since we were 13. You know, when I just had the incident last year with my father getting sick, we all came together, rallied around my father, you know, stepped up as brothers and sisters. And I tried after that to keep, you know, the conversations going, try to, you know, repair things. And it wasn't reciprocated. So it's just like, well, what can you do? We grown, you know, it is what it is at this point. I don't hate her. I don't dislike her or anything like that. I have a love for her, you know, because we are blood, but I don't lose no sleep not having a relationship. It just is what it is. And I think that that's what that family needs to maybe recognize and heal from the fact that we don't have to be in each other's lives like that. You know what I'm saying? And I think if they were able to voice that and stop trying to force it, things would be a lot better. Because I think they're trying to force relationships that just probably aren't meant to be. You have in siblings or in familial relationships where I'm closer to one cousin or one brother or one sister than I am the others. And that is okay. It's okay. But overall, I'm going to give this week's episode a B+. It was a really good episode. It really was. And I'm ready for next week's episode, so it can be a little bit more lighthearted. Y'all let me know what y'all think about the sisterhood dynamics between these ladies. What do y'all think about the relationship between Tawanda and Tamar? Do you think that it's wrong that they keep secrets from certain people? Let's talk about it. I can't wait to hear you guys' perspective on these things. Make sure you guys thumbs up this video, subscribe to my channel, and turn on your post notifications so you know when my videos drop. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.